A wellspring is a bountiful source, a place of plenty, like Chisimba Falls in northeast Zambia. These falls, even in the dry season, are mighty. They are powerful. But for the people who live here, clean water is a struggle. For them, filthy water has made the difference between life and death. Lack of water has been the difference between success and failure. For the children, not having water makes the difference between a smile and sorrow. Mwamba needs a wellspring, a bountiful source of water. The best way to understand any issue is to see it for yourself. In June 2016, a group from Wellspring for the World in North Dakota and Minnesota traveled the long distance from their homes to northern Zambia to study the challenges of water, meet the people who face those challenges, and find out what they could do to help. George Sandvin and Kendall Neal were the youngest members of the group. They gravitated toward the stories of the children like Ruth and her older sister, Exilda.
The thing that surprised me the most was Ruth, the 7-year-old, how she had to carry sometimes 2 buckets of water on her head 5 times a day sometimes, down to this little pond area, which wasn't basically like a pond, and she had to do that all the time just to get water, not even clean water.
So they have to walk quite a long ways to get to their dirt, and I mean not clean, it's dirty. There's monkey poo that drops in the water and also dead rotting animals. They have sticks laid up against the trees in order to kill the snakes, and Exilda actually once got bit by the snake.
For Kendall's Aunt Rondi, it was the story of Michael and Gertrude's daughter Teresa that tugged at her heart.
I think they just had gotten clean water about 8-9 months previous to our visit. However, there was a remnant that you could see while we were there of the effects of not having clean water. Their oldest daughter, Teresa, who was 20, unfortunately had to be pulled out of school to go help her mother get water. So she was never able to receive an education like her younger siblings. And when we were sitting there visiting with the family, you could see the sadness in her eyes because Teresa wasn't able to receive an education.
For Rondi's sister Shelley, it was the realization that dirty water contaminates everything in life.
My aha moment was the afternoon that we visited the health center outside of Cassima. And we met Catherine, who was in charge of the clinic and cleaning the linens. And we were able to follow her down to the water stream where she gathers the linens that are soiled in the health clinic. And she gathers them alone and takes this long trail down to the water to wash these linens. And not only was it an arduous path that we all followed her to the water, but what struck me was these linens, these hospital bed linens, and we all know what type of waste would be in those linens, get cleaned in the water stream that flows downstream, and whether that be after birth or fecal matter and, vomit. It was horrifying to think that these elements went into this fresh water and flowed downstream for the families downstream to drink, and it's their source of water.
Nearly 1,000 children under 5 die every day from diarrhea caused by dirty water, poor sanitation, and improper hygiene. Wellspring for the World wants to change that. Wellspring for the World partners with World Vision, the leading non-government provider of clean water. World Vision reaches 1 new person with clean water every 30 seconds. But it is how World Vision does the work that makes the lasting difference. World Vision passes ownership of each water project to the community. Community members take responsibility for maintenance and repair. Nearly 80% of World Vision wells continue to function at high levels even after 20 years, thanks to the community engagement model. Each community is prepared to receive clean water as well. Every family must do 5 things around the house to prove they are ready. They have to build a latrine, put in a tippy tap for hand washing, create a dish rack to keep dishes off the ground, dig a refuse pit for garbage, and put up a bathing shower for privacy. Families are encouraged to store water safely as well. Integrating sanitation and hygiene with clean water is a formula for success. And when you bring clean water to a community, all life improves.
When I'm thinking about this past week, and there wasn't really one aha moment for me, because I think there was just so much of what water means to these people, and from not being able to go to school to now being able to go to school, from not having a doctor at the medical clinic to now having a full-time staff doctor, from 60 cases of diarrhea now down to 4. I mean, it's things like that that to me is what water is about. It gives liberating, empowering, and dignifying. And you can see that in any person who just received water. What water is about, it gives them hope, and it gives them reason to carry on. And it was, just as a mother and providing your children with water, to me, that was, you can see in the faces when they don't have it, and how they, there's only so much they can do, but for us it is, we don't think twice about that, and for them it changes their lives.
Clean water brings a goodness to life that wasn't there before. Kim Lauf saw this when she met Jack and Gift.
And they have 9 children and 4 orphans that they take care of. And they do it with such love in their hearts and smiles on their faces, and they have joy. And they shared that they had that joy because of the gift of clean water. Everything in their life was easier because they had the clean water. The most amazing part for Gift as the mom was that she was able to attend church, and she was the choir director, and that brought her so much joy. In fact, they're actually in a choir competition coming up, and they are going to walk many miles to attend this competition. But church was such a big part of their life and their faith journey. And she said because of clean water in the village, that the members in their church went from 60 to over 200. And so she was so happy about that, and that was a very special piece of their life.
Gift's choir did walk to the competition held at Chisimba Falls. They performed well, taking 2nd place in all of Mwamba. But next year, says Gift, they'll take 1st. Clean water gives people the ability to dream, sometimes for the first time. Powerful dreams, life-changing dreams, dreams that come from having clean water. Won't you consider partnering with Wellspring for the World? We're funding 1,000 wells that provide clean water to 315,000 people by the year 2019. No matter where you live, you can be a wellspring for others. You too can make dreams come true.